In order to be unshakable, you first have to be okay with being shaken. And when you're okay with being shaken, you really no longer are shakeable. How to build unshakable self-confidence. Mainly it's a belief thing, I think. And the first thing you've got to realize is there's no such thing as unshakable self-confidence as a human, right? If you are a human being and you have adrenal glands in your body and you actually have a heart and you actually have a brain and amygdala, there are going to be situations that stress you out, that scare you, and that cause a sense of fear in your system. The triggers are different for different people. You also aren't going to be fully competent at every skill without doing it. In fact, you're completely incompetent and I'm completely incompetent at most skills that we haven't learned. So the first step here is really self-acceptance. Now that term sucks. I feel like that term is just very watered down and sucks. So instead of that sentence, I'll use this one. In order to be unshakable, you first have to be okay with being shaken. And when you're okay with being shaken, you really no longer are shakeable. Because that means that your bar of expectation is now realistic to where anything that bothers you and rattles you in your life, which will definitely happen, is now okay. It's okay that happened. And it's just a matter of more skillfully acclimating your nervous system to the systems and situations in your life. And just recognizing that your nervous system is going to react in certain ways in certain situations is okay. Don't deny it. You're going to be shaken, and that's okay. And once it's okay that you're shakeable, you really aren't shakeable anymore. Because now, even a nightmare happening is okay. It is actually a lot like dreams. There's a point where I was having a lot of nightmares as a kid. And as soon as I realized the nightmares were going to happen and they were just going to be terrifying, I stopped having them completely. Because I just realized as soon as a dream would get scary, it was okay. I was like, that's fine. And my resistance dropped away. And then by its own account, the dream took off into a good direction. So these things in your life that are shaking you up a little bit, you need to picture it as a piece. You don't want to put it in a vacuum. Let's say you're giving a speech and you're terrified. And because of your fear, the speech is worse than it would have been otherwise. If that happens, yeah, it sucked, but you have to look at it in a larger picture. And maybe the guy who went on after you or the girl who was on before you came off way more secure and calm in their nervous system than you did yourself. And then that comparison just throws an axe into your head. The fact that you freaked out on stage isn't fixable because it happened. But what is fixable is the comparison thing that you're doing. Zoom out and realize that you putting yourself in that situation was good because it pushed your limit and it was a obstacle on your greater journey, which actually wasn't an obstacle because it was a thing that allowed you to strengthen yourself and improve on and iterate on. Whereas the other people who didn't get scared, who didn't get their limits pushed, they didn't grow in that area. Maybe they didn't want to, but since you want to, because you clearly were doing this stage thing, there was your opportunity to grow. Stifledness and uncomfort in your body in a situation, let's say it's like you're asking someone out on a date and you're uncomfortable and you're tense and you don't have access to your normal flow of relaxation and words, and you don't have access to your best self because you're all tense and stressed out, right? Is that underconfidence, or is that just a planned part of your journey? Is that just a expected part of the road you're traveling on? Yeah, I think that's the issue, is viewing it as like underconfidence means you're viewing yourself as in it as not good enough to pursue that situation, when actually your pursuit of that situation is evidence that you're growing into a more robust version of yourself. And viewing it like that will encourage you to do it, whereas viewing it as the other way will discourage you and encourage you to put it off and wait. Next step, see the awesomeness in yourself. I think everybody has light in you. Have you ever talked to somebody, and when you were talking to them, they seem to recognize something in you that most people don't? They appreciate you. They feel inspired by you. They see something in you that you also see in yourself is awesome. Don't brush that under the rug ever. That is something that you need to focus on. See the light in yourself. See the light in other people. See the awesomeness in yourself. Just sitting in your chair listening to this right now, you're awesome. I'm telling you that. I see the light in you. I don't think anyone isn't awesome. I don't think that anyone isn't blessed in a certain way and has some awesome traits that could be really beneficial. And then lastly, but not least, and this might even be the most important one, which is that everyone's on the same team. As human beings, we're all on the same team. I don't care if there's evidence against it. You can be dramatic in your mind and view people as enemies, but I don't know why. Why would you do that? Remind them. We're on the same team, by the way. Like, I'm here to help you. We're on the same team. We're going to get to the same goal. By default, we're all on the same team. And unless there's evidence to suggest this person is acting otherwise, start with the belief that we're on the same team. Start with the openness and the familiarity in a way that doesn't put yourself in a threatened position. And boom. So let's recap it. You walk into a room. Everybody is on your team. Everyone wants the best for you. You have awesomeness inside of you. You are awesome. You have awesomeness inside of you. You have awesome character traits inside of you. You have that to share with everybody. You have those things for everybody to look up to in you. And if they talk to you, they're getting a taste of that. Number 3, there is no such thing as underconfidence. And number 4, if you are shaken up or nervous, that's not even a problem. Not a problem whatsoever. It's like your shoe is untied. Not a problem. It's part of the greater. And number 5, there are no obstacles. It's all part of the greater journey.